Okay, Robert back here. Going to build me a custom lantern, fat bottom girl. Got this old Sears, blue Sears frame. I know I'm going to get a lot of kickback, some comments for using a Sears, but don't want to hear it. The paint is shot on it. I was missing the collar. The vent wasn't in that good a shape, and the only collar I could find to fit it was 50 bucks on eBay. I'm not giving $50 for a $10 lantern. $50 part for $10 lantern. I'm not doing it. And I'm not harming the fountain anyway. I mean, whatever I'm doing to it can be redone. So let's get with this. Okay, what I'm going to do, I've got a 220 valve from probably a 220J or something like that, the newer model that has the built-in air tube in the frame, burner frame, and it's going to work good with this 200A style frame. Okay, I pulled that fuel cap off there, and that is nasty, but I did shine the light down through the fount, and the inside of it is perfect. It's just this, they didn't put the lining inside these filler tubes for some reason. So let's get the wire brush and the drill and let's clean that out of there and flush this tank out before we put it on these groups online. I see a lot of questions about this right here. What's the best way to clean that rust out of those? This is my favorite method. We've got a shotgun cleaning brush with a 12 gauge copper wire brush. Got it chucked up in a drill. And that is my preferred method. I don't know if this will work or not, but there's some really heavy, crusty rust that wire brush is not bringing out of there. So I've got a drill bit side of the inside dimension of that. It's just about perfect. Okay, off camera, I'm going to go flush this thing out with fresh fuel. This 220 collar I think is going to work, but I'm going to have to drill a hole on the back side, right in that seam, right around that rivet, right a little higher than the rivet. So show you how I'm going to do that. Got this scrap piece of cedar. Just going to squeeze this collar like that. Get that seam right there on the edge of that board. Take my drill press. It's going to drill straight down. Okay, I didn't get it perfectly centered, but it's pretty darn close. I think it'll work. As you can see, it's a little bit offset. It don't line up perfect. It's a little closer to the front side. But if you're looking at it from the front, you're not going to be able to tell it. So I think it's going to work. Alright, so let's take this back apart another time. We've got to take it back apart at least twice more. Once now to put the fuel pickup tube in and test it. And once we'll take it apart again when we go to paint it. Okay, since this is a custom lantern, I'm not going to use the 3-piece cap. I'll save that on one to keep original. I'm going to use the 1-piece cap on this. I may polish that out, make it shiny. Because I'm going to paint this red. I think that silver will look good on the red. Okay, I've already put my check valve and my pump back in. Got my fuel pickup tube out of the vinegar and cleaned it up. Now in theory, get this thing back together, it should fire right up. And a brass valve. I cut it down to size, drilled it out where it would fit in my valve stem would fit through it. Took some epoxy putty and set a 1/4 20 thread nut in there. And now I can set my frame down in there and tighten that down right on top of my frame. Okay, we got a new generator on there. Perfect flow. She should burn. So now we can drop our frame back on. Alright, now we're going to need a washer in there. Washer's not going to do us no good. We're going to need a new collar. So I'll have to make a custom collar to fit this. Anyway, that'll work for now. Collars later. I'll do that when I strip it down and paint it. It's getting to be a long video. Okay, there's a general idea of what it's going to look like. Vent's not perfect. Got a enamel chipped off the side there. It's been dropped at one time. What do you think? I could paint the fount red or black, either one. I might go with red and do a Sears decal. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So there's my next fat bottom girl. Let's turn out the light. Got this by any can. I think it's going to work just about perfect. Yeah, I tried drilling it on my drill press. It's starting to tear. So I'm going to switch over to the Dremel to see if I can round it out. See how close I got. Not bad. Got my back one off just a little bit. I don't know, it might work. Yeah. Still gonna work. Now, before I drill my vent hose, let's test this frame on it, see how it works. Alright, let's take it back off and mark and drill our vent holes. Okay, it's got it. It's not perfect, but it'll work. Don't have the high heat paint right now, but tomorrow hardware store opens, I will go get some high heat paint. I want to paint this black, and get some red for the fount, and we'll paint the fount red. I think it's going to look good. Okay, got the paint all stripped. It's a good thing I did do this, because it did have some pretty severe pitting in the bottom. If I let it sit there much longer, it would have ate pinholes all the way through it. I think we caught it just in time. A little bit of brazing, solder ran down right here when they done that. So that's kind of going to look like a paint run when I do paint it, but I don't think it'll show up too bad. A few places where it's pitting in the top. That's what we can do about that. Might get some glazing and spot filler, put them in and sand it down. We'll see. Okay, that's 2 coats on it. Still not completely dry. And I messed up. My tape had come unwound a little bit, come unstuck, and it was blocking where we needed to paint, and I tried to move it and my thumbnail went into the fresh paint. So you can kind of see it, a little indentation back there where my thumbnail got it. That kind of sucks. But other than that, I think one more coat, it's going to look good. Got one little minor ding right there, the only ding it's got on it. And we got to change the plan. Instead of using the old burner, I was looking at old Coleman parts and I found a reproduction burner, and got a new decal coming. So I want to wait for those to come in and we'll make a part 2 putting this thing back together. Okay, you all know the routine. Like, share, subscribe. God bless.